Year 2, I hope you're all right today. The weather's not looking very nice compared to the rest of the weekend and things, so hopefully it will pick up very soon and we can go outside, have some fun in our gardens again. Okay, so now today we are going to be learning to understand that fractions are equal parts of a whole. Okay, so the reason why we need to learn this, we need to learn it with shapes, is because we need to understand what a whole actually is. So a whole is, imagine this is a chocolate bar, and I also think when you think about chocolate, it really makes you think about sharing things equally because it's chocolate after all. I know one child in my class doesn't like chocolate, but the rest of you do. So imagine this is a chocolate bar, and imagine this is a whole chocolate bar. Okay, so when we put things into fractions, we are splitting it into equal parts. So this is our whole, and when we are splitting things into fractions, we're splitting it into equal parts. So to understand that, fractions are equal parts of a whole. Okay, so today we're focusing on just finding half. Okay, now we have done this at school, but again it's a bit of revision, a bit of practice, just so that you can have a go at trying to do it independently on your own at home. Okay, so again, imagine this is a chocolate bar, and when I split it in half, I'm going to get two parts, and they have to be two equal parts. Imagine, again, it's chocolate. I'm going to share this. If it's not equal, I will not be very happy if I get the smaller part and somebody else gets the bigger part. So we have to split it into equal parts. So with a shape or with a chocolate bar, you really have to use your eyes to visualise where you think half is. Sort of straight down the middle. Okay, so I'm going to look really carefully. I think it's about here. There we go. And so I've split it into half. That's one half, that is another half. Okay, so it's a whole. This is my one whole chocolate bar, and I've split it into two halves. Now, I can split it another way. I could split it this way. It doesn't matter how you split it. It matters that they have to be equal parts. So I've got a half this way, and I've got a half this way as well. Okay? And the reason why we learn about doing it in shapes first is we will be moving on to finding fractions of a number soon. But this just shows us finding fractions of one whole. Whereas with numbers, there's lots of different numbers and it's quite hard to find fractions of a number. So we're going to do that later on. But today it is just finding fractions of a shape or a chocolate bar, whichever. So your challenge today is I want you to go around the house and try and find some objects that you could split into, you could share into two equal groups, into two equal parts of a whole, or you could fold maybe. So I'm going to just show you a couple of examples. First of all, I've got a piece of paper. So this one, it means I'm going to fold it in half. So I need two equal groups. Can you see? I'm going to fold it into a fraction of a half, and it's two equal parts of a whole. So the piece of paper is my whole, and I'm going to fold it down the middle. I'm going to put these two lines together here. I'm going to fold it down the middle, and you'll see that the crease here has now created two equal parts. When I split it into two groups, it is two halves. Okay, and then two halves, they make a whole. Okay, so I've got a piece of paper. You could do it with some chocolate now. I'm just going to lean this forward. I have got a Toblerone here, which is very exciting, and it's been very tempting not to eat it. Now, if you're going to do this with a knife, you need to ask your mummy and daddy to help you. I do not want you to do it on your own. I've got quite a sharp knife here. So I'm going to have a look. Now, there's two different ways I could find this, my fraction here. There's two different ways I could find a half here. I could use my eyes, okay? I can use my eyes, and I think probably my half is about here, okay? Now, the second way is a good way to check. I'm just going to count how many mountains there are on each side to check actually if they are exactly the same. Because remember, a fraction is split into 2 equal parts. When finding a half, it is 2 equal parts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to get my knife again, ask Mummy and Daddy's for it. If I want to cut it into half, I use my eyes first, just to see where I thought the middle was, where the half was with equal parts. And then I counted the mountains on both sides, and both of them have got 7. So I know that they're equal parts. And I'd be very happy to share this because they're both equal. I wouldn't be very happy if I thought that this was half and I was only going to get 4 and Mr. Patelli was going to get all of these. I wouldn't want that. He might, but I don't. So we split it in half, okay? Another one that you could do is you could have some pasta shells. So I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've got 10 pasta shells there. I don't know if you can see these. Let me just lean this forward a little bit. 10 pasta shells. Okay, I'm going to split it into 2 equal groups. So I'm going to go like this. 1 for you, 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 1 for you. And then I can count my groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can do 2 things. You can visualise it and try and find the middle of the equal parts, or you can check that they've got the same amount on both sides, just like I've done with the Toblerone and also like I've done with the pasta pieces. But here, I can't really count it, so I just have to use my eyes to split it into equal parts. Okay, now, there's a little extra challenge. If you would like to be challenged, I would like you to get some pasta shells or something that you can count out. And I would like you to have a little think about if it works with all numbers, okay? I know it works with 10, okay? So that ends in a 0. Just trying to think what type of number that is. That's an even number. I want you to maybe challenge yourself and think, can you split odd and even numbers into half, into 2 equal groups? That's your challenge and your investigation to just push you a little bit further today. Can you split all numbers into a half? Okay, I hope you found that interesting. And then maybe you could even eat your chocolate afterwards to make this lesson even more exciting. Hope you found that interesting. If you've got any problems, don't forget to email me. Don't hesitate to email me. And then later on this week, we'll be moving on to doing it more with numbers and in our books. But today it's just a little game. Just go around the house and see how many things you could split. And I would love to see some pictures of what you're doing. So remember, we're understanding that fractions are equal parts of a whole and we're finding a half. So that means we need 2 equal parts of our whole, just like this. Okay, right, bye-bye.